Welcome back to A Moment in History. I'm Seth Udinsky. In this moment in history, let's discover the story behind perhaps the most famous church in the history of Christendom. Now, although the current building was built and completed during the European Renaissance, the church itself finds its roots in ancient times. It is named after one of the most famous apostles in Christendom as well, and many historians agree that it stands on the very site of this man's crucifixion. It is an extravagant palace of Christendom that has been mired in controversy since the current building was constructed for illicit means by which it was funded. Let's explore the story of St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. Now, the original St. Peter's is believed to have been constructed in the 4th and 5th centuries AD, shortly after the Christianization of Rome. The church stands on the traditional site of the Apostle Peter's execution by crucifixion, where Peter asked to be crucified upside down because he felt unworthy to be killed in the same manner as his Lord. The church stands on the traditional site of Peter's tomb as well, and it is the most important house of worship and pilgrimage site for the Roman Catholic Church. Now, throughout the Middle Ages, the church began to decay and crumble, and by the 15th century, the Catholic clerical aristocracy called for a rebuild of the cathedral. In 1506, Pope Julius II commissioned the rebuilding of New St. Peter's and laid the first stone of the new church. It would take over 100 years before the church as we see in its present form would be completed in 1615 under the leadership of Pope Paul V. Now, while it is the preeminent church in Roman Catholicism and perhaps the most influential in all of Christendom, there is an infamous side story to its construction, which has become one of the unfortunate black marks of the church. Now, in the early 16th century, the church commissioned the sale of indulgences. And you may ask, well, what is an indulgence? Well, at a basic level, the church taught that sinners could purchase these indulgences or grants of remission of sins to gain eternal life. The more they paid, the sooner they could get out of purgatory and into heaven after their death. This, of course, is a heresy. Sadly, the church profited off the sale of these indulgences by using portions of the money to fund the construction of New St. Peter's. It was these indulgence salesmen, including the notorious John Tetzel of Germany, that the courageous reformer Martin Luther would battle against in his quest to rediscover the true gospel of Jesus Christ in the 16th century. Thanks so much for joining me once again for A Moment in History.